On this episode of the WWIA podcast, WWIA founder and CEO John McDaniel spends some time talking with Mr. Dave Hintz, one of the foundation's longest and most ardent supporters. Dave is the founder and driving force behind Hides for Heroes, a phenomenal fundraising powerhouse based in Waupaca, Wisconsin. Through their collective efforts, Hides for Heroes has donated over $127,000 to WWIA since 2012. Dave's dedication, patriotism, and thoughtfulness are second to none, and we hope you enjoy getting to know him and his example of how one person's ingenuity and generosity can blossom into something amazing that impacts thousands of lives. We know you're going to love this episode, so let's jump right in and join the conversation with John and Dave.
Hi, I'm John McDaniel, founder and CEO of the Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation, and this is the Honor, Connect, and Heal podcast. And continuing on in the Northwoods with Dave Hintz, a very close friend of mine in the foundation here at Camp Hackett. And Dave is with us today. And let me set this up a little bit. First off, Dave is the guy who started the Hides for Heroes program, and through that program, turns out that Dave is the number one top donor here at Camp Hackett in this wonderful enterprise that we have in the Northwoods. Dave, welcome to the program, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Thanks for welcoming me.
Yeah. So here we are in the Airstream, and you just recently arrived here at camp. Tonight we've got a community dinner. And so for those that don't know out there, I'll set this up. Dave goes around and collects deer hides. I mean, you have boxes all across Wisconsin right now, right?
Central Wisconsin.
Central Wisconsin. Yep. These are large crates. Okay, mm-hmm. What are they? 4x4?
Yeah, they're shipping container we use at the foundry. Waupaca Foundry donates them to us.
Right. So they're called
cat boxes.
Cat boxes.
Yeah, for Caterpillar.
Okay, right on. Okay. So these are big wooden boxes.
Yep.
And people who harvest white-tailed deer, most of them, you don't start putting them out until the gun season, right?
Nope, we're going to put them out. We put them out at the end of October. About three weeks.
Okay, so these boxes go out across the central Wisconsin, and people and it says Hides for Heroes on it.
Yes, sir.
And these people who are deer hunters, and there's lots and lots of them, God bless America, in Wisconsin, go out and harvest a white-tailed deer, and then they take the hide off it, and they go and put the hide in the box, and then normally the weather's a little cooler that time of year, hopefully, with any luck, thankfully.
Yep.
And so then the boxes get full.
Yep.
Okay, and then you have volunteers who help you, and you do it yourself as well.
Yep.
Run around and collect these deer hides. They might call you and say, "Hey, man, come get the box is full." Right?
Yep.
Again, the box is full again. Yep. Right?
Next day,
hey, the box is full again. And so then you collect these deer hides.
Yes, sir.
And then you take them and you do what with them?
We take them back. We call the salting fields. And we salt them. Okay.
Where do you get the salt?
We buy the salt from Fleet Farm. It's mix and fine salt, which is donated by.
It's what?
It's called a mix and fine salt.
Mix and fine.
Mix and fine, yeah.
Okay.
And so my employer, Waupaca Foundry, they donate the salt. They donate a lot of stuff for me, the boxes.
Yeah.
So very fortunate that way. But yeah, we take them back, and I got a lot of high school kids that are FFA. Members,
right? Future Farmers of America.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And they come and help me, and they're salting, and we got a bunch of other.
Why do you salt the hides?
Well, to cure them, to hold them for that point until we can get them to the buyer.
Okay.
It kind of cures them.
Yeah. Okay. So check this out. Now people are probably like, all right, so he's doing this, right?
It's a messy job.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And if any of you have ever handled a deer hide out there, they have a certain smell to them, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's hard to get that off your. You
Yeah,
probably smell like a deer hide.
And you got deer ticks, and you got ticks crawling over you if it's warm, you know. And
No, okay, all right. Break. See, here's what. And let me. No. You people. There's some people out there that are probably rightfully so cringing at the thought of taking and oh, by the way, they've been in a box. They come off a deer.
Yeah.
And they were caped. They caped it out. They got the hide off it, and then they threw it in a box. And then sometime in the not too distant future, you or somebody else who volunteers for you is going to go get this box. How much do you think a box of deer hides weighs?
We can get probably, if it's not frozen, we get like 20 hides
in a box.
Yeah.
And what do you think that weighs?
I'm going to say the average hide weighs like 15 pounds.
15.
Yeah, it depends now and in late season because they get the hide gets.
So 300 pounds in that box.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And you got to fish them out of the box, put them in the back of a truck,
throw them in the back of the truck,
and then drive them to where? Wapaka?
Iola.
Iola.
Yeah, Iola.
Iola, what is Iola, Wisconsin?
Yes, sir.
What is
the home of the Iola car show? It's one of the largest car shows in the western part of the United States.
I'm a Wisconsin boy. And I
Yeah,
don't
you
even
didn't
think
know that?
I didn't know that. I never heard of Iola. I don't think I did.
It's
Wapaka for sure.
Huge car show. Yes, it is. Come
Okay.
on, John. I thought maybe you'd check it.
No, sorry. I'll go now. Don't be offended if you're in Iola. Give me an invitation. I'll go. Okay, so here's the thing. You do that, and then you collect all these hides, okay? And how many? And this has grown considerably over the years, right? So now you have approximately how many boxes out across Central America or Central Wisconsin? Sorry,
between 60 to 70 boxes.
Okay, and each box is probably emptied once or twice
a week.
But all told, maybe on average they fill it once or twice.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends
on
New
where you are.
spots will take. Maybe I'll get 20 hides out earlier, but the next year maybe 75.
So you get all these hides. The deer season's over, and then you start salting in the wintertime?
No, we salt them as we pick them up.
Okay, so all right, so then they're laid out. I've seen pictures of them, aerial photos. It's unbelievable. Okay, so last year, approximately, how many hides did you collect? This is 2021 deer season. How many?
4,100, I think.
4,100. Okay. Yep. Now, for those that don't know, once upon a time in our nation's history, a deer hide was worth $1. Okay, and that's why they call it a buck. That's where the word buck, hey, you got a buck on you? That's right, it's true. True statement.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. Now, today, it's a global market, right? So the price of deer hides fluctuates, right? It goes up and down based on demand. Now, why? Now, first off, where are the majority of these hides going when they go to market? Italy?
Yes, first couple of years.
Or to Europe?
Yep, Europe, China.
Okay. And why?
Russia at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why do they? And here's the other thing. I find this fascinating. I'm talking like I know.
I mean, they normally just throw these deer hides out.
Most people do.
Yes, and
But these are only only Wisconsin and Minnesota and only a few other states where they even want the hide.
Right.
Right. Why?
Indiana. Because the hides are more thicker. And
they're thicker up here because the deer have to deal with the winter.
Nothing
and they're
from South Missouri hides.
Like a deer from no offense, Alabama, but I don't think any. They don't market well.
No.
Right, because they're not very thick.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So and the deer are big up here.
Yes.
Okay. So the price fluctuates. You might get anywhere from $4 to $9. First
year I did it for you guys, it was $12 a hide.
Wow! Wow!
It dropped, but it sounds like this year the price is going up. Plus, they want us to cut the tails off, so we might get a little. We're gonna sell tails. Still.
You know who wants the tails?
I have no.
I do. I promise you, I do. I know there's a market for it. Yeah. Fly fishermen, the musky fly fishermen. I'll hook you up with a guy. Yeah. I'll hook you up with more than one. You talk to Tommy out there. Yeah. Sorry, guys, we're having a little conversation. No, but I'm seriously at the dinner. You talk to Tommy. Tommy's a fly fisherman, and the fly fishermen are nuts over it. Not just for muskie, but for all. Right. That's a marketable item. So you can. So
this year they said, hey, cut the tails off. We'll give you more money.
Oh,
so good enough. So we're gonna have some kid with a sharp knife slicing tails off while we're salting them.
Oh, I can hook you up with some knives. We should get each guy a nice knife to do that.
I know you can.
All right. So anyway, we're getting back. So you do all of that. It goes to market. They pay you And then you take the money that you've earned and all of that hard work, and then you give it to charity, and you've given it you mostly. I think, I mean, we've been the big recipient of this, right?
Yeah, everything from the deer hides goes to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this, but next year we're having a golf outing.
Oh wow!
Oh, it's getting big.
Okay.
So, and our group said, hey, half goes to Wounded Warriors, and the other half we're going to just spurt out to like the
local charities. Yeah, that's
local
right.
heroes.
That's good.
Local
okay,
heroes.
Good.
But
okay.
it sounds like a pretty good deal.
Well, listen, I got to tell you, we're humbled by it. Okay, because I'm going to tell you. And I've said this, but I'm going to say it now again. But what you do is really amazing. It really is. It's a ton of work. It's thankless, and you're a hero. You are a hero for what you do for these guys. I know you. I know what you're
I'm a
going to say.
lucky guy, John. I told you that before, and I got great volunteers, and everything seems to fall in place for us.
Yeah. Well, you're humble, and that's wonderful. But you're a great person. What you're doing is amazing. The money that you raise, 100% of it stays right here at Camp Hackett.
I know.
And you know what this enterprise is all about. It's really our most vibrant, it's our longest standing, most vibrant chapter, and this is ground zero. This is the work that we're doing here is changing lives, and you're a huge part of that, and I just want to publicly go on record, brother, and say thanks. Absolutely. Thank you. I mean, I never dreamed in my wildest imagination, okay,
that you get to your hides with
that I would, do you remember, I think it was called Sport Togs? Does that ring a bell? There was a place not far, like it was in Winneconne or something like that years ago. Anyway, when we would shoot, I've been hunting up here since 1978.
Yeah.
Okay. I think in Wisconsin since 1976, but up in the Northwoods like since 78. And fortunate to taken a few deer in my time.
Perfect.
And we used to take the hide. And you could take it into this place. I think it was called Sport Togs. Somebody's going to correct me right. By the way, we should probably have an email address where people can,
hammer on you.
Hammer on me. No, John, it wasn't Sport Togs. But it was something where you could take your deer hide in exchange for a pair of gloves.
Yep. Well, a lot of our hides would go to Berlin.
And that's where I think it was.
Yeah, Berlin. So
I think it was.
Up until last year, all my hides went to Berlin, and they'd ship them out of Berlin. But now they're going to Wibke Fur, which is over by La Crosse, and Hintz in Minnesota.
Okay. All right. Wow. So anyway, I mean, it's just it's a ton of work, and you got. I'm hoping this makes you feel good because you're making a lot of people happy and helping change a lot of lives with your work, and it's thankless work. I can't imagine going out there and having to do all of this just to make the world a better place. But the world needs more people like you. Thanks for all you've done. And I'm going to ask you, this work here with our veterans, and you come to camp every year, and we love to see you. But what's it mean to you when you leave this camp and this experience that you have here over the fall? Because you're here quite a bit. What's it when you're
very humbling. I brought my middle son Nate up during the bear camp 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said, "Dad, thanks for taking me." And he just got a whole perspective of veterans and Purple Heart guys, and he got to sit around the fire and bullshit with them, and he couldn't thank me enough.
Cool.
And I want to bring all my kids, and I want to start bringing some of my volunteers up here.
Yeah. You've done that. You've met them. A couple
and I want to bring
a
few more. And I go, it's just. I mean, these guys are true heroes. I mean, they sacrificed everything.
We've got a Marine with us here on this particular mission who's had 9 combat tours. He's a master gunnery sergeant. It doesn't get any higher in the Marine Corps. It's as high as he gets. He looks like he's 24. Okay. Yeah, and he's been in for 21 years.
Wow.
And he's just an amazing, amazing American. And another one, one of the other guys is a former Marine scout sniper and has turned medical officer in the Navy. So he's about to get his PhD as a doctor.
Nice.
They're both still on active duty. They're both from Virginia. The guy from Tampa couldn't make it because of the hurricane. Yeah, and then of course, Jake. So we got a camp. We have a camp full of combat wounded American heroes, and then today, and they've been here since they got here on Thursday. Today is Saturday. They've limited out on geese. They've each killed rough grouse. You saw the pile of woodcock out there.
Yeah.
And they're out there hunting for deer right now, and hopefully somebody's gonna shoot a nice buck with their bow. Tomorrow they're muskie fishing with John Carlson. He's a dude. And John K,
great man,
greatest muskie fisherman on the planet.
Yes, he is.
And you too have, like the heroes that we serve. Of course you've got a cabin up here, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. So, but you've made a lot of friends up here through.
Lots.
It's amazing. It's an amazing network, isn't it?
I never met so many Vietnam vets up here. It seems like they all go to Northwoods, and they're so good guys. They're such good guys.
They are. They don't want. They. That's why I came up here. I'm not a Vietnam veteran, no. But I missed. I was too young for that, obviously. But I did 20 years on active duty, and I had a very soft spot because all the Vietnam veterans. When I came into the service, they were all my battalion commanders, all my brigade commanders, all my division commanders were all combat veterans from Vietnam. So that's who I learned from. That's who I followed. Mm-hmm. All my leaders and some senior NCOs were still hanging around at the time. Still, my first sergeant was a Vietnam veteran. So, I learned, I think, from the best. And now, of course, most of them are getting a little older, and unfortunately, some of them are leaving us now. Right. And they weren't welcomed. No. Nothing like this existed for them when they came back.
No, they got treated
they got treated horribly, and they were embarrassed. Right. They were embarrassed. They were made to feel embarrassed. Right. Okay, which is a sin.
Yes, it is.
But they were made to feel embarrassed about what they did for their country, and that's just flat out wrong. And boy, the tide has changed, and for the better, right? Because everybody up here, I don't know anybody who's not patriotic.
No, I mean, I have Vietnam vets come up to me, and I don't even know them because what we do with you and Eyes for Heroes, I go, all right, it's kind of cool. It is
cool.
It is cool.
You're in a brotherhood, man. You're in a brotherhood.
I never served. My dad served in the Korean War. My brother retired Army, and I kind of regret. I should, God, I wish I would have just did the adventure, but it didn't happen. So it's just my kind of little way of giving back, John.
Well,
I'm lucky because you know how it started. Meat cutter by trade. I knew where the deer hides.
Dude's a meat cutter.
I knew where the deer hides were gonna go, and one thing led to another, and I'm glad I'm hooked up with you guys.
Yeah. Well, we're super proud of you and what you've done, and you've got a great network, and you've created you've created a great team. You really have, and I think good leaders create good teams. Great leaders create great teams, and I'd put you in that latter category. You've done an amazing job of assembling. First off, for those that don't know, try to get a volunteer to do something. Like, for example, hey, does anybody want to help me wash my car? No.
Or salt the deer hide.
Hey, does anybody well, exactly. That's right. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's nasty.
Think about that. Yeah. Think about that.
I'm lucky.
Yeah. Well, we all are. Yeah, we all are.
Good bowl of chili and a couple beers really.
There you go. That's right. And oh, by the way, here's a really cool knife, man.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But they're not doing it for the chili and the beer. They're doing it because they want to give back, and they want to feel like what they're doing is important, and it is in this case because you're helping our nation's combat wounded, and you're our number one donor. And God bless you. Really, I really appreciate it, and your impact is felt, throughout our organization, and especially up here, and I hope you serve as a beacon, a model for others. I mean, you have any advice for anybody who might want to get involved as a volunteer and do something like you?
It's just you meet a whole different breed of people.
Isn't that the truth?
It's the truth.
A good breed of people.
Great breed of people.
Great breed of people.
Very, yep. They're
going
to have your back. They're humble.
That's right. If you ever needed it, dude, there people crawl out of the woodworks to help you. You know that, right?
Yeah. And it's just,
Yeah.
We could sit around a fire and talk forever.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like it.
So I want to ask you. We'll close out here in a little bit, but let me ask you to tell us a story, just off the cuff of a memorable event connected to the WWIA, or a soldier or a Marine, an activity. I mean, is there any? You've gotten close to some of these guys. Yeah. You've been hanging around.
You know one, Matt Tenney. Matty.
Is Matty your boy?
Yeah. He comes speaks for us. He does his talks for our we give us scholarships. Yeah. Myron Construction. Yeah. They give us $1,500 scholarships here. So
Matt Tennyson was, we've served Matt several times.
Yes, sir.
He's a great guy. Matt, I remember, the story about Matt. When I first met Matt, we were doing a cast and blast in Wausau, and Todd Boehm had started a mission. I think it was the first one he ever did, and we were going to meet the heroes. This is before guides. You're looking at the guide. Yep. We didn't have guides. It was me. It was me.
Hey,
hey. But anyway, so I show up a little early, right? And I had linked up with a Josh Kruger. Do you remember Josh? He's a Marine. Great guy. It was me and Josh, and we were waiting on Matt and one other dude, and we said we were the link up point was the bar. Like, there's a bar in Wausau called the Bar. You know what it is? Yeah.
I heard
it's there. Anyway, so that was our link up point. And it was like on a, maybe a Thursday or a Friday or something in the afternoon. It wasn't too busy in there. And I'm staked out in a position where I've got good observation and fields of fire. I'm waiting for Matt to show up, and this is before, we don't have any pictures of these guys. We said, hey, link up at just say 2:00 or whatever the time was. And in walks this guy, and I'm like thinking to myself, that's got to be Matt. I mean, it's got to be. And he's got this look on his face, and he's pissed. You could just tell he's pissed off at life, and something's not right with him.
Right.
And he was closed. Not that pissed off, but he was just really quiet. Very quiet and standoffish. And long story short, Matt tells the story much better. And when he was here for the Field and Stream, we did a Field and Stream here and honored the foundation for a couple of years in a row in 2009 and I think 2010 for their Hero for a Day program. And Matt, we invited him out, and Matt tells a story on film. It's out there somewhere, about his experience, and what comes up was Josh. The power of his peer, another Purple Heart recipient, a Marine who was pretty severely wounded, lost an eye, and use in part of his hand, as I recall. And Matt didn't, Matt had been wounded, of course, as well, but didn't have that level of physical wounds, and Matt and Josh had a couple of heart-to-hearts, as Matt tells the story, and it changed his life. And so you just never know. And I guess the message is, for anybody who's wondering if this is for them or, struggling. I said this, not long ago in another interview in another venue. Somebody asked me, what would you? We were talking about, the topic, I think, of suicide, which is a whole nother deal we're not going to get into here. But we're losing a lot, way too many veterans every day to suicide. And the question was, what would you do, or what advice, John, would you give to anybody who's struggling? And I said very rapidly, without even thinking twice, I said, get on a team.
Yep.
Find a team and get on it. And dedicate yourself. And, that's what you've done. Not only have you got on a team, you built a team, okay, right? And you lead a team. And there's something to be said for that. You're doing good in this world. And so my advice to anybody out there who might be struggling, whether you were in the service or not, go get on a team. And there's lots of teams out there, everything from underwater basket weaving to hunting clubs, right. Whatever you want, there's something out there, volunteer, find a way to do good, do something that, puts you on a team with other like-minded people and get engaged. right? I mean, that's just pretty. And I think that helped Matt, and he's still slugging it out, right?
Yeah. Matt said when he spoke at high school graduation, he had everyone quiet, and it was when he told his story, and it was they all stood up and gave him a standing ovation.
Oh wow,
it was cool. It was I go, holy balls, man! And Matty is just a good guy. He still comes up to my cabin. Actually, December 3rd, we're coming up. He's coming up to get some grouse hunting.
Good.
But he likes.
Tell him I said hello.
I will. He's always asking. Yeah, Matty's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good guy.
He busted up my 4-wheeler. It's funny stuff.
No,
Not Matt. I want to tell a story and then we're going to say goodnight, but because it's kind of funny. So this was, I don't know. We were building the bunkhouse. By the way, we're in the Airstream, which is in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, here at Camp Hackett, and there's a bunkhouse about 50 yards from where we are, and in the middle of nowhere, in a very remote parcel of the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and the bunkhouse was built pretty much by wounded veterans and community leaders, and a few have done, and it's been remodeled and it's grown and it's going to continue to grow, but it's like a Lego set. But anyway, so Matty was up here and we were blowing insulation and he was helping out. He can swing a hammer. And it was, that kind of thing. And he brought his dog and all this stuff. And so we'd all been working pretty hard. And we were like, Matt, why don't you just jump on the 4-wheeler there? I got a quad, a Polaris 800 that was at the time pretty new, and in great shape, I might add. Matt, great shape. There wasn't anything wrong with it at the time. And I was like, yeah, man, just go take, stay on the main trail, don't get too lost, because you can get turned around back there and we'll never find you again. So just go have a good time, And so he takes off. And we continue about our way, building and improving the bunkhouse. And about an hour goes by, and there's no Matt. And I'm not worried. It's about right. It's a big property. Another hour goes by. And now it's 2 hours, and I'm like, and looking at Jake, and we're like having the same exact thought, like we maybe need. And by the way, that was the only asset the only mobility asset. Now we have a couple other options. But at the time, that was it. It was the only thing we had. And we were getting ready to strike out and go look for Matt. And all of a sudden, you can hear the quads coming. I'm like, okay, he's good. But he's got it in pieces. You can see him coming. He's got the cowling, strapped onto the front and the fenders on the back. And it's just... And he's got a look on his face like he just hit the ditch, man. Anyway, the good news is that it wasn't really irreparably harmed. It hasn't never gone back like it once was, Matt. But no one just pulling your leg, man. Anyway, Matt, he's great people. We love him, and he's got a great story, and I think hopefully we've helped Matt a little bit through his journey, and that's what we're looking to do, right? Is to help honor, connect, and heal these great Americans, and that's the name of the podcast, Honor, Connect, Heal. We've got one of our biggest supporter here, Dave Hintz, Hides from Heroes. You do a great job. How would people get a hold of you before we close, Dave? If somebody wants to get involved in Hides for Heroes and help you out as a volunteer to help the foundation, how do they do that?
We got a Facebook site, Hides for Heroes, on a Facebook.
Okay.
They can get a hold of me. My phone number is 715-412-1161. Right now, we're trying to look for volunteers. We all got jobs now.
Right.
So, I got a lot of donations for gas cards. Hey, I'll give you $100 gas cards. Go click Hides all day. We got everything on a Google map.
Okay, great.
So all they do is punch it in, bang, bang, bang.
Awesome.
And just go get Hides and just drop them off here. And that way, that saves us time.
Oh, yeah.
After we're done work, and we can just go take care of it and salt them, So that's what's going on now. But yeah, I do got a lot of good volunteers, and I'm just lucky, and we have a good time doing it. Yep. And so at the end of the day, we can just write you guys out a check.
Oh, that's awesome. We got a bunch of really big checks from you, and we're so pleased and humbled and honored, and also we'll give a little shout out to the Wapaka factory too,
Wapaka Foundry, yes.
Wapaka Foundry. I was up there and saw you this summer.
Yep.
and met some of the leaders there.
I could give you a tour through there.
Yeah. So what a bunch of great people, and what a great organization. We certainly appreciate their help and everybody else's. So Dave Hintz, Hides for Heroes, welcome to the Honor, Connect, Heal podcast. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
And we'll let's go join the crowd out there.
Yeah,
all right.
Sounds good.
Thanks, brother.
You bet.
All right.
To learn more about the mission of the Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation and how you can get involved, please visit our website at wwiaf.org or follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you for listening to the WWIA podcast and for helping us honor, connect, and heal our combat wounded Purple Heart heroes through the power of the great outdoors.
If you like what you're listening to here and would like to join our team in our mission to bring healing power and recovery to America's Purple Heart heroes, please become part of our Sponsor a Hero team by clicking on the link in the podcast notes or by going to wwiaf.org/sponsor. That's wwiaf.org/sponsor. Our heroes need you now more than ever. Thank you.